me free more. I'm a near me come we. Ya me way me free more. Yes, so feed your mommy. You try my mommy. You can't tell me come me so sad. Give me ye dawa brabo mo. So Faswa mami, Samin so baby say I'm coming suda. Benim so baby say Eja kamanga senti oda. Messi oda I see a day. You feel me when I'm with you. Me never does
Good morning, good Good evening, good night, wherever you're watching me from the globes of this world. I'm bringing you greetings from Upper Room AOG, radio and TV. This morning, we are coming your way live on YouTube, live also on Facebook, and then every other place that you want to see it. So, we are here today with my Jericho Encounter, and it is me, your very favorite host. Yeah. Pastor Mrs. Linda AMOAH, no size. Nobody is competing with me on the favorite host yet. So, Pastor Linda, I will say that, yeah, the only favorite host, yeah, that is me. So, today we are coming your way with another beautiful edition of my Jericho encounters that we have had in our lives. And we have in our midst a very prominent man that is reigning all over on CNN this very few months ago, and had a very great nominee who is also an African. I am super proud to have such a person and also to be the first person to interview him before he is being nominated. And after nomination, he will come back again to give glory to God on my Jericho Encounter. This morning, I'm saying good morning to you also. Daddy, Sunday was light. Sunday was super. And we are so appreciating you. Pastor Mark Asante, men, we say good morning to you wherever you are. To Mama Ako, baby, as Daddy affectionately call you, I say good morning, Sunday. Oh, you were looking like a bride. Indeed, you are really the bride of Upper Room, and we really appreciate you. And as I always say, anytime I see smiles on your face, it keeps my heart at peace and makes me know that my prayers are being answered, because Daddy will still continue to do the good work of God. May the Lord continue to put smiles in your face and also in your heart, most especially to all Upper Room pastors. We say God bless you for the good job that you are doing, and also to all the church board. Oh, the organization was super. To the entire church. Kingdom Voices. Ohima, God bless you so much for the inspirational song. Director. I affectionately call him K3, and Auntie Mina will say that he always brings our way seasonal songs that will inspire the congregation. Director K3, God bless you, Wati. And I'm here today with Pastor Dan, my very producer, and he's the head of media production. To you also, my director, my manager, Apostle Goldwater, I say good morning to you also, wherever I know you were watching us live, and I know you're going to give us feedbacks later. And then also your instructions and all your guidance is keeping us going. And my Jericho Encounter is reaching around all the globes of this world. God bless you. More grace to you all. And I pray for the grace of God upon your life to be increased with more knowledge, wisdom, and to impact more lives. So this morning, as I said, life in this world is really a great struggle, both for the young and also for the old. And even those who think that they have this great riches, they also have the troubles of their own. So we always come your way all the time to encourage you for what Adonai is making. And as I always tell you, Adonai is still in the making business. He is still making people. Yours is just to follow suit. He is the one that directs our path. He's the one that leads us. Submit yourself to him. Allow him to take you through the process of preparation. Allow him to incubate you. In your time of solitude, he is ever ready to keep you going. He's ever ready to nurture you. Yours is just to keep calm and allow him. And this morning, a prominent man, a noble person that has come our way to also share with us his Jericho encounter. He's no other person than our very, very, very dear and our very own KWADWO OSEI BOATENG. So KWADWO OSEI BOATENG, good morning and welcome to my Jericho encounter.
Good morning, Pastor Linda. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share my story, to share my journey. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we also really, really, really appreciate you for honoring our invitation, because we know that in times like this, you always want to go international, but this is the very international TV stations that you can ever go, and that will promote you everywhere. And from today, I know tomorrow is going to be the day, and you are going to be on top by the grace of God. I'm not prophesying to you, but it is written all over you already, and that is what God has said. And so I know you're going to come back again to say glory to God and also to appreciate all our people who are there. Beloved, if you are listening to us, you can be a good person to us, and then you also try to vote for our brother KWADWO OSEI BOATENG, and then on Facebook and on YouTube. It's free, no charge. You can nominate him or vote at 10 times a day. So even as we are sharing now, or we are talking and discussing about his ups and downs, the Jericho walls that he has faced, you can still start now. Before the time ends in an hour time, you have done your 10 votes. and then God is going to bless you for that, because you hearing his story will let you know that yes, really, really, indeed, he needs to become the top and first of all, the one to be nominated for us to get all these benefits back home in our country. So when we say Kwaku Osei Boateng, Kwadwo Osei Boateng, who is Kwadwo Osei Boateng?
Yeah, so Osei Boateng, Kwadwo Osei Boateng. I'm a Ghanaian, born and raised in Ghana. I lived there for the most part of my life before my family and I migrated in the US. So for me, I've been always passionate about healthcare through my lived experiences. But through that, I've also gotten the opportunity to use that my lived experiences to come up with an innovative solution to serve rural and underserved communities in Ghana.
Wow. So what motivated Kwadwo Osei Boateng to enter into the medical field or the health field?
So I was born and raised in a small community in Ghana where access to healthcare was a huge challenge. A lot of people in my community had to travel several miles for desperately needed care. And even if they get there, it's with the hope that they get to see a doctor. It wasn't always guaranteed that they would get to see a doctor. And so some of them would go to the hospital and walk back home without any medical care. And as a result, a lot of them lost their lives. And so for me personally, I lost my grandmother and my auntie to this challenge as well, where we were able to get them to the hospital. But because of the delay from the healthcare provider, we lost them. And so from that very young moment, I wanted to devote my life purpose in making sure that other people don't lose their grandmother, other people don't lose their auntie. And that motivated me to enter the healthcare field.
Wow. So in my Jericho encounter, sometimes we always want to have the ups. We always want to know the downs. We always want to know the walls of Jerichos that we have climbed. And I know that apart from you losing your auntie and your grandmother, we know that there are certain, when you started to take these steps, I want you to start with us. When you started taking the steps into entering, what are the encounters that you had in your life that you needed to come across something, or you needed to cry out to Adonai for help? And how did you start with? And then where has God taken you to?
Yeah, definitely. So I would say for me, God has done a lot in our lives, even getting us to this country. Definitely, it was a miracle. And when we got here, it's a very different country. You have to sort of start everything all over again. For me, had to start school at the same time, have to work, right? So it was really a challenging experience coming to this country, working and going to school. And by God's grace, I was able to start with a community college, and by God's grace, a scholarship to study at Cornell, which I only believe it was God, because at that time, there were two people that it was in my class, right? And the other person that we applied to the same school with had a better grade than I did. And so, for me to be even selected over him to go to that particular school was God and Encounter, because I remember I applied to a couple of schools and my parents wanted me to stay local, but there was something within me, which I don't know what it was, but I had that faith that I was going to go to that school. And it got to a point where the other school had the last day I needed to commit to. And my parents like, you know what, just pay the thing. Even if you don't get to the school that you want, at least you can start that. And I was like, no, I don't want to, because I have faith that I'll get into that and to that particular school. And by God's grace, I got there. And that is where the journey started, because once I got there, there were a lot of opportunities that was presented to me, which I believe if I had gone to the other school that my parents wanted me to go, I wouldn't have been where I am today. And so once I started that school, I started as a pre-medical student with the vision of going to medical school and eventually going to serve back home the rural communities. But there was one turning point where I was taking this class called Anatomy and Physiology, learning about different cardiovascular diseases. And that is when I noticed that diseases like hypertension, diabetes have silent symptoms. And so reflecting back from where I was coming from where I knew that people don't have access to healthcare, what was I supposed to do? So that is when I started, I wanted to go back home and start with the small knowledge that I've gathered. And so that is how I started way back in 2017 whilst I was a junior, still studying at school. And so I went back to Ghana, partnered with healthcare providers, and then we went to these communities to go and get care. But because of my Christian background, whatever I do, I tend to work with like churches, right? Because in as much as I believe that physical health is important, I also believe that spiritual health is way important. So even in all the endeavors that I do, I make sure that I partner with the churches. So once we are doing the physical health, they are also doing the spiritual, health. And I'm an Assemblies of God. That was where I was born and raised, and I grew up in the Assemblies of God. And so my first project, I partnered with the Bethel Assemblies of God. It's located in Nigeria, Kumasi. And then I did the health screening. They had the evangelism team who also were there to also, pray for people and, teach them the word of God. And I would say that by God's grace, after the project, there were a couple of people that gave their life to Christ, because then it becomes very easy when you approach these people and you provide them with free medical care. There's no such love as this where you don't have to pay this. So it makes it, very easy for people to really understand, the love of God and like really know that they're actually good people that God is working through them to serve humanity. So that was my first trip in 2017. However, as of that time, we didn't have the van, right? So everything that we're doing, we just, partner with people and go to these communities. But I was doing that in 2017. In 2018, I came back to school, talked about my project. And to my surprise, there were a lot of students who were really interested in this experience. And so that opened another opportunity for me to now bring students from the US to Ghana to come and experience the work that we are doing. And so we started off bringing students in 2018, and we brought 3 as our first set, and the number increased because once these people came to talk about the experience, the cultural experience, and definitely once I'm there, I need them to take them to church because it's part of all the experience. So they went. We took them to church, and one funny moment was that I brought. To me, was this white person, was a white female that I brought with me to Ghana. And when she came, she hasn't seen anything like the church, the dancing, or how lively it is. And to my surprise, she jumped into the center dancing with the church members. But that showed that there was no boundary when you enter the house of the Lord. The joy that is there is can easily infect you for you to participate in that. And so from 2018, I started bringing students 2019. And I would say, it's been the grace of God because there are a lot of incidents people bring people to a different country, the food they will eat, transportation. And I would say by God's grace, we haven't had any problem, any challenge bringing these people to Ghana. And I thank God for that because for me, I'm just a young person trying to navigate all that. And really, God has been faithful to me and to the team. And so I'm forward to like 2021. And so in 2021, I really realized that I really realized that, the people that we serve, it's very difficult for them to leave their workplace because most of them are small business owners, like in Ghana, a very semi-informal market where everyone is selling in the market. So to tell them that they should go to the hospital with no guarantee that they are going to see a doctor is very difficult because then they have to debate between, like, do I go to the market and sell, provide food for my family, or do I go to the hospital, spend hours, and I'm not even guaranteed that I'll go and see a doctor. So, for me, once talking to them, I really identified that, and that is the vision of the mobile health van. We wanted to bring, healthcare to them so that they don't have to, travel these several miles for healthcare. And so I remember clearly, it was in 2021 that I went there and I went to different marketplaces like KJTR, rural communities. And as I was talking to them, I was telling them, a year by this time, you will come back and we will come back with a mobile health van. And mind you, at that time, I was still a student. And at that time I was talking to them, the only money that I had in my account was $100. And I'm there telling people that a year by this time, we are coming with a mobile health van. And so that was when I told her, I was like, how are we going to figure this thing out? Because, I mean, I had no idea. I didn't know how it's going to come from, but I just had the faith that it's going to happen. So I didn't know. So what we started doing, acting on our faith, is that we started, talking to people about, okay, what's the cost of it? Like, how can we get it? So we started the conversation, and someone was really interested. It's like, you know what, I can give you guys the van. And I was like, yeah, that is great, but we don't have money to purchase it. But we didn't also want that to go. So what we did is like, okay, we will start negotiation, but we would sort of prolong the negotiation and see what we are going to get. And as of that time, we didn't have the money, and God did something amazing. During that time, my dad was also going back to Ghana, and he also wanted to start something in Ghana as business. So he bought a van, right? And so he bought a van that he wanted to use. And when he got to Ghana, he realized that, the van was too small for what he wanted to do. So he said that he wanted to sell it. And so everything sort of worked out. And so when he said he wanted to sell it, he told me, I was like, Dad, I'm interested in it. Definitely would love to, purchase that from you. But even with that, we didn't have any money. Out of that, and that was okay. So I was there wondering, like, should I go for a loan? Like, how do I do this? And I got a call from one of my board members out of the blue. I wasn't expecting that. And he called me. I was like, you know what? I said, I've been thinking about something to support your organization. My 50th birthday is coming up, and I wanted to know, like, what do you guys need? I was like, this is God. And so I was like, you know what? This is what we want to do. We want to buy a mobile health van. We've already talked about to the people. We have the van in place. And to my surprise, he was like, sure, I will donate to that, and also use my birthday to also do a fundraiser for my other loved ones to also donate towards that. And that was when we were able to secure the funds that we needed. So we got a significant amount through that, his donation, and also getting his people to donate for us. And I added what I had also saved to it. And that is how we got the van, and then we retrofitted the van. And exactly a year from what I said, we had the van that we started operating, going, to these communities to provide them with healthcare. And so we started that in 2022, going to these communities. And I might say that, it hasn't been all smooth. Definitely there has been a lot of ups and downs. You be on your way to a community, and like your car will break down, and it'd be like, what is the reason? You figure out, like, you go for mechanics, and they'll tell you, oh, there's this small thing. For us, we've changed the engines twice, because, going to these communities, we had to put a lot of pressure, I guess, on the car, because we've been to about 52 rural communities, serving over 4,000. And it has been a challenge, even going through the roads, going through this. But I would say by God's grace, through the work that we've been doing, a lot of people, have gotten their lives saved, because, as I said, we make it an intentional effort to partner with churches around. So for us, we've done a lot of work with the Church of Pentecost in these rural communities, where we provide medical care for. And the whole idea is that once we do that, the pastors are able to spread the word of God and also helps build the church. So that is what we've been doing. And then in the end of 2022, I was just having our board meeting, and like, one of the board members casually said, you know what, maybe the work that you are doing can be recognized by the CNN, or like the CNN Heroes program, can recognize that work. And that was the first time I heard about that program, because I had no idea that the CNN had this type of program, and this is what they do, or recognize people doing work around the world. So she just said it casually, and I said, oh, okay. And one of them told me that they would nominate me. And I was like, okay. And so, I was there, I guess, January. During that time, I was also working in Hereford, Michigan. And so, December of that 2022, I mean, I felt like there was so much that I can do with my life than to be working for the organization. So I was contemplating like, should I quit? But the thing is like, since I have been funding the foundation mostly from my personal contribution and from my salary, it's a very difficult decision to take, because then you come up like, how are you going to pay the workers if you quit the job? But I felt like if I also quit, I'll be able to do more. And so that was the contemplation that I had. And then January, I was like, you know what, I'll just do it and then leave the work. And so I quit the job in January, and I guess it's like, okay, then you have to figure out a way to be able to pay your workers. And so I was like, okay, I quit the job in January. Then I moved back to New Jersey to stay with family. And it's like, you still need to pay your workers. So I started, Uber. I started driving Uber, throughout the day, because that also gave me the flexibility to do meetings. And that was how I was, sustaining, the organization. And then in March, I got a call. It was a 908. I was from a New York number. So I picked the call. It was like, you know what, I'm calling from CNN. I was like, what? Calling from CNN for what? Like, what do you want from me? I was like, you know what? Someone nominated you. We are really impressed by your story. I would like to ask I would like to ask that questions. And I was like, at that time I was quiet because I didn't know what to say. I was surprised. I can't even describe the feeling. And so she started asking the questions, how I founded the foundation, what I've been doing. And he was like, you know what, I'm going to talk with my boss, and then we'll get back to you. And I was like, okay. Then a full month, I haven't heard anything. So I was like, oh, okay, they didn't select me, so that is fine. And so during that time, I'm just doing my Uber, trying to get money to really support the organization. And then in April, they were like, they called me back. They were like, you know what? We are really impressed with your story, and we would like to finally tell you that we've accepted you to be part of the CNN Heroes program. And I was like, wow, because I was just talking with her. I was trying to figure out how do they go about the selection, because it's like out of the blue. And she was like, you know what, we get a lot of nominations because the CNN Heroes program is a global program. So we get a lot of nominations across the world. And then we select like the first 20 to profile them. And so you've made it to the first 20, and now we want to come to Ghana to profile the work that you're doing. Now it's like, wow, because if this is not good, then I don't know who that is. Because we started the program 2022, and then 2023, so it's within 1 year, the things that happened was so quickly that I couldn't even keep up with that. And so they talked to me and they said that, okay, they are going to come and to Ghana in June and do all this thing. And I started thinking to myself, I was like, you know what, if I was still working, there was no way the job is going to give me like even 1 week or 2 weeks to go to Ghana and do this, right? And so things started sort of making sense, because initially I didn't see where that was going. I was like, what am I going to do? I needed to do an Uber, and all this thing happened, like the CNN that they want me in Ghana, and I was like, if I'm still working, there was no way that I was gonna do that. And so in May they came to Ghana to capture that, and that whole experience. I also had that experience was another thing, because these folks came in, I think on the May 19th, and they're like, okay, we are here, we want to do the work. So they wanted to go to the communities that we work with, see how we do the work, and capture it. So they came on Sunday night, and Monday we were supposed to go. We started the van Monday morning to where we meet with our volunteers, and we all go together. The van was fine. We stopped at the gas station. We bought some gas. The van was fine. We went to see the volunteers. The CNN folks wanted to talk to the volunteers, wanted to capture that. Everything was fine. And it was the time that we had to now move the car to the community. We went back in the car. We started the car. The engine was not started. That's like, oh, no, this cannot happen, because these folks have traveled this long distance just for this project, and now the engine is not starting. So what we did was like we called the mechanic. He said that we should park the car. And it's like, what do you see? And we see that there are all these lights coming on. He's like, this thing is not good. I need to be there. And it's like, how far are you? It's like, I'm like 3 hours away. It's like, no, we can't do this. And so what the only thing that came to mind was that me and my operation manager, we sat in the car and we just prayed. We just prayed and we prayed in tongues, and like we prayed for like 5 minutes. And this is when the post came to us, like, okay, we are ready, let's go. It's like, yeah, give us time, we are coming. And we prayed, and after we finished praying, my operation manager started the van and it came on. And it was very, very surprising. That time it was really a miracle. And then once it came on, we just said to ourselves, we are not going to turn off the engine because we don't know what's going to happen. So we started the car and we went straight to the community, was able to do the work. And then the CNN captured whatever they had to capture. And then they left, but we had to finish it up. And we finished with the whole thing. And the engine wasn't working again. So what happened was that we had to leave the car there in the village and try and get a mechanic to come fix it for us. But I was really grateful because what happened was that Monday, the weather, it was supposed to rain. It didn't rain, right? So we were able to do that. But that Tuesday, it really believed that if we had not gone on Monday because of this problem and decided to go on Tuesday, there was no way we were able to do the work, or the CNN would have been able to go to that community. It rained heavily so that even the community members, they weren't able to go anywhere. They weren't able to go to their farms. And I was just thinking to myself, like, this is a challenge that we are facing, but at every challenge, it looks like God is always coming through for us. And so Monday, we were able to do that. The car got stuck. So on Tuesday, we were able to get the mechanic, even though it was raining. Surprisingly, they were able to go to the car, fix the car. And then on Wednesday, we were able to bring the car to Kumasi because, mind you, all the communities that we go is on average, it's about 2 hours away from Kumasi. So that is how far it is. So that is what happened. And by God's grace, they were able to capture that. For the work that I do, for me, I'm also really passionate about the Kayaye, the female porters. So I do a lot of work with them. So, we went to their community, provided them with the free medical care as well. And it was also captured by the CNN. And also, as part of the work that we do, we are also passionate about mental health among the youth because it's really something that is really overlooked in Ghana. And there are a lot of youth going through a lot of things from even our mental health outreach that we've done. There's at least 3 suicide cases where, like, the student was like, I've tried that. I've tried a rat poison, and I'm just gonna try it again. Like, I'm just gonna kill myself. And I'll be like, no. We really prayed, and we're like, but we need to get you to a psychologist. And so we're able to get the person to a psychologist. And then the funny thing is that once we got the person to the psychologist said that, the incident is very severe. We cannot allow the child to go, because we thought it was gonna be a one-time consultation. Ended up being a 2 weeks thing where they admitted the child, the guy, because it was very severe that they were even scared that if they leave him, he was gonna lose his life. And really, really thank God that He has been using us to really affect the lives of not only the rural communities but the youth as well in Ghana. And so even the one story I was going to say is like the child wasn't fit to ride the WASI, but the thing is like the school authorities also didn't understand that. They were like, you need to bring the child, like he needs to take the WASI. The psychologist like, no, it's not, and that showed like how the people don't really get what mental health. That headmaster was like, the child was working fine. You guys took him to the hospital, and you guys are telling me that like he has to stay at the hospital for 2 weeks. Like, you need to bring my child on these dates. And it's like, so we went a lot of back and forth And finally they agreed, and then we were able to, provide the care for the child. But it wasn't that. We went to this girls' school as well, and we encountered a lot of people. Some students, some of the female, like they are just cutting themselves. Like some cut themselves. There's a lot of, I guess, relationship issues, addiction. There's like a whole lot that it was really, happening in the schools. And we started with our own small effort to educate and provide them with the resources. But it's part of the vision to really expand that. To expand that program to touch a lot of youth in Ghana, because a lot of them are going through a lot of things. But to continue with the story, the CNN folks came to capture that, then they featured us in the story. But mind you, I said that there was like 20 people that were selected to be profiled. Then they were like, you know what, there's going to be an internal team that will decide on the top 10 to be there. And so we were there. It's like, I'll let you know, at the end, late for, they'll let us know who made it to the lead for. It's like, it's September, it's October. We have been there, I was like, so you guys know what's happening? So I called my connector. I was like, when I will be hearing the result, it was like, yeah, they are still debating on that, and she will call me and let me know if I made it to the top 10. And so I think the first week of November is when I got the call and saying that, you know what, I've been selected to be part of the top 10, which is a big deal. So from 3,000 to 20 to 10, it's only God who can bring me this far. And now we are in the position to see who will win the CNN Hero of the Year. So they select only one person to win the CNN Hero of the Year. And we are still trusting God that He will come true for us and give us this privilege, the opportunity to get the CNN Hero of the Year. So that is where we are currently. But for the journey, it has been God throughout, because it started off as a project in school, and look at where we are within this short amount of time. Yeah.
It started as a project, and this is how far Adonai has brought our brother OSEI. Yes, when you get on the YouTube, you're going to see OSEI nominate OSEI as the CNN Hero of the Year 2023. And it's going to be a blessing to all of us, because seeing what he is doing in our rural communities, in back home, in our own countries, is going to get to you also. You can tell us where you want him to go, and then he is going to do it. This is not a partial, any nominee thing that he's doing, but if you also have people around that you think that need help or mental care, you can contact us and we will link you up to OSEI, and then he will also go with his people to see through it. It is free of charge. As he is saying, they charge nothing from all the patients that they are looking at. They are just volunteering their life, their finances, their energy, and everything. What we can also do for OSEI now is that we will nominate him. We will keep voting, and the more the votes comes in, the more higher he stands the chance of becoming the Hero of the Year 2023. And that is all that we are looking up to. Looking at all the ups and downs that he has gone through, it's been God from day one. This short period, how Adonai has been able to turn things around. Even when the enemy tried, he said they had to go into their closet and pray. Prayer is the key. If you say prayer does not work, I don't know the kind of person that you are, and I don't know the kind of prayer that you are praying. If you are not getting answers, beloved, the assurance is that it is not yet the time. He said, I know the plans that I have for you, plans of good, not of evil, to take you to an expected end. What expectations are you raising? We have our timing. Our timing and the timing of God is not. Our God has never been late. Neither has God ever been too early. He's right on time all the time. And anytime you call upon him, he said, call upon me and I will answer. This is Upper Room AOG Radio TV, and we are live as we are speaking on Facebook and also on YouTube. One thing that I always encourage you to do is to share. As you are sharing to all your contacts on Facebook, all your contacts on YouTube, Instagram, and any other social media that you are going to use, you are doing the Great Commission. They say we should go out there and preach the gospel. How many people have been able to preach? We come your way live, and this is the greatest opportunity for you to share. And as you are sharing, you are propagating the gospel and saving a life. Somebody is in a rural area looking for someone to take care of a patient, take care of a family member who is suffering from mental health. Because of finances, the person is losing their life. Today, OSEI has come our way, and it's a great opportunity for us that we can also be able to link up with them and also be able to contact them that they save a family member's life. If you are sharing to a friend, the friend is going to also share to somebody, and it's definitely going to get to someone who needs this help, and we will get it and save life. As we are propagating the gospel, we are also propagating good health, because Christ said, when I was sick, you never clothed me. So this is also part of the Great Commission that our brother OSEI is also doing. So please, on CNN, you can see on Facebook and that of YouTube, please start doing the voting 10 times a day. I have done mine. I did yesterday. Today I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it till every time. So start doing it. And when you share to somebody, tell the fellow that, yeah, hey, have you also remind them that by sending on that, try to remember to vote. So God bless you all for watching us. And today we want to have so much from OSEI. So I'm not reading any messages from online, and then that's also YouTube also. So we are grabbing more information from him, so that you out there, that you also want to start something, that people are discouraging you from doing it and from moving forward, and any fear is also gripping you and asking yourself so many questions that will I be able to do it? People are going to mock up me. Look up onto our brother KWADWO OSEI BOATENG, and then you also know that God can also use you to do it. If you want to link up with him and also get some guidelines, you are free to contact us, and we will link you up onto OSEI BOATENG as well, and then he will also guide you, especially the youth out there who are there. The youth are life. Say the work is done, and OSEI BOATENG is also doing it. He is a youth and he's doing it. But before I end, I'll ask OSEI whether he's married, and that will be my last question for him. So you out there that you are admiring him and then looking at the smiles and everything, please, let's see me. I'll ask OSEI, but the answer will be an outcome if you have to see me for a connection, and I will also do it. Access me so very well before I will link you up. So we will go back to our brother OSEI Kweku. So Kweku OSEI, through all these things, and since from 3,000 came down to 20 and to 10, what were the emotions when you got to know in September, November that you were among the 10? And among these people that have been nominated, you seeing yourself as the only Black person among them. How were you feeling? And what really came to you when you get to know that you were really nominated? And apart from that, what other challenge have you also faced through these votings and announcements that you are making? Has there been dejections? Has there been acceptance or anything?
Yeah, so I would say when my CNN coordinator called me that I've been selected, I know that for a period of 2 to 3 minutes, I was just quiet, and I was just reflecting from where we are coming from and where God has brought us. And so for me, I was very thankful to God. I know that, once we finished talking and then we put the phone down, I just was thanking God because it's only Him that has brought, us this far. Especially looking at the other competitors or the people in the other, they have been started this work like 5 to 10 years ago. And I just started with my mobile health van within a year, and like within the year where God has, brought me. So for me, I was shocked, I was surprised, I was excited at the same time, but most importantly, thankful to God for the opportunity, for the privilege, and also for the honor. And I always say to myself, I'm the voice for the people in these rural communities, because these are the communities we go there. Some of them don't have electricity. Some of them, even the water they are drinking, is a challenge. And so for me to be selected to be part of this, really, it's not about me, but most importantly, it throws the light on the people that we've been able of. God has given us the opportunity to serve. So once I got selected, very happy, very thankful, but most importantly, I was also excited. For the opportunities that this would, and the opportunities that would come up for us to even serve more people in the rural communities. And so when they said that the voting had started, what I wanted to do was I wanted to see what the other people in the group were doing, how many followers do they have, Like, because then if they have a lot of followers, it's like, yeah, your chances is kind of sort of slim. And I went to one of them that does a lot of work with dogs, like dogs for the homeless people. That guy had 243,000 followers. The other one that I looked at had 8,300 and something followers. The other one was like over 3,000. I went to check mine was like, what, 200 or 150. I was like, how am I going to really compete this book? I mean, throughout this process, I mean, I have to tell you that if I read this is just God, because looking at the statistics, like, I'm nowhere closer to where these people are, but I'm still trusting God. So what I did was, like, from my own small way, my community, I'm just sharing the story, the people in Ghana, because the people that we are serving, they don't have the smart, they cannot vote. So, yes. I mean, you just have to tap into people that I know here, like people in the Ghanaian community to start voting for us. But if I look at the statistics, it's very discouraging. Like, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, from now on in there, if I feel it, that is only God. Like, I'm studying here, it's only God that can make me win that. Because if you look at the numbers, it's like, yeah, you're out. Because I remember this guy posted once on his Instagram, and he had over 30,000 likes. And I've been posting every day. The highest I've gotten is like 20 likes. I was like, it's gonna be very interesting. But we are still trusting God. I know when I started, I was trying to reach out to some of the people, like the influencers in Ghana, emailed a couple of them. None of them got back to me, and some of my team members were tagging them, hoping that some of them would do it, and none of them did it. And I just told them, like, you know what, they should stop the influencers. Like, if they want to help us, they will eventually come. If not, God will do his thing his own way. And so randomly I posted my thing on WhatsApp. Someone saw it. It's like, you know what, I know someone who works in the media. Let me connect you. And she connected me with that person. Within a day, the person had been able to propagate the news, my story in Ghana, where Peace FM, Joy FM, everything for free. And I was thinking to myself, like, if we are going to get these influencers, there was no way they're going to do this thing for free. They're going to charge. And so, God works in a very mysterious ways. And I know that, he got us. I know that if you look at the numbers, you will say that, like, there's no way you're going to win. And we are still trusting God. And I'm the only African in this competition, the only Ghanaian. I guess I'm also the youngest one in, because most of them, one is a veterinarian doctor, a vet doctor. He has been working for years. Some of them, yeah. So I'm the youngest, I'm the only African, I'm the only Ghanaian. So we are trusting God to really use us to show people his glory and what he can do in like people like us if we give him the permission to use us. So we are really trusting God to make us win this, because looking at the numbers, you'll be discouraged. Yeah.
Looking at the numbers is a little bit discouraging. But God, if you have God, you have everyone. And we are so grateful that you are really a believer, and then you also trust in your God, in me. And God is still doing, as I always say, he's still in the making business. If it is your time, nothing can stop you from winning this. And we all are solemnly behind you with great support, and our prayers are also with you. So, beloved, as you are there, it's a Peace FM, OK FM, other radio stations. Please, if you know any other person working in any radio station, tell them to do it. This is our very own. We are not being selfish. We are not being doing anything that we are doing racism or anything, but it is our very own. It is our very own. And as you say, he's the youngest among all these people. Others, doctors, PhDs, and also honor, and people who have been in this ministry for a very long time. But for him, who started just a year, and God has brought him this far, means that God has a purpose and a mission. One thing that we Africans, we normally do is that, it will get to you. one casa personally, it will get to your grandmother, your auntie, or a cousin somewhere in the village, or a friend, a bosom friend, or somebody's friend, or a friend's friend, or a friend's family can also benefit out of it. So we shouldn't start looking at we personally getting our selfish gains, but what others are also going to benefit out of it. So stop not comparing and then not analyzing that, oh, I bet a hero crank. It's not about that. It is not about that. It is about the good things that he can do for the community. He's not going to do it here. For here, no, there are less privileged people over here. But back home, that is where he started. And that is why the CN people, had to come home. They didn't look at the things that he was doing here. If we were looking at what he was doing, he was an Uber driver after he left his job. He was doing Uber. So what will they get out of somebody that is doing Uber? But they were looking about the good work. So let's look at the good works that they are doing. So I encourage each and everyone out there that we should start nominating him. We should start voting for him. And then I know that at the end of today, by the end of this week, we will all lift up our handkerchiefs and give praise unto God that he has done it for us. Before OSEI will go, Nana OSEI, my question, before my last question comes in, what lead will you send out there before I give you my last question? In a few minutes.
So I would say that the work, as you rightly said, is not about me. It's most importantly about the rural communities, the rural members who have to travel several miles, the rural members who don't have any hope of getting quality health care by our Hope Health van. So once you are voting for us, you are not doing it for me or doing it for the foundation, but you are doing it for someone else who would not be alive if our van is not in their community. So the plea is that people should go to the cnnheroes.com and vote for us to win. And actually today is the last day. So the voting will end at 11:59 PST, the California time. So we have a couple of hours till it ends. And so we are pleading that people would vote for us and for us to win so that we are able to really expand our services to additional rural and underserved communities in Ghana and even beyond Ghana as well.
Good. So please, today by 11:59, the voting ends. And by tomorrow, he will be nominated. That's for me, I know. He will be called the hero of CNN Hero of the Year 2023. So it is by your help. Your vote will also get him out there. Let's do it. Let's do it. We have more time from this moment to the time that you can still do your 10. At a spot within few minutes, within less than 5 minutes, you can still do your 10 voting. The process is very simple. Just keep voting. Vote and then let another person vote. The people who are not willing, take their chips and then take their phones and then start doing it. And then he is going to get there. We are not looking about the followers, but we are looking about what God is able to do. So also my last question before we end our segment is Kweku Osei-Boateng a married man or a single person?
Oh, I'm not married, so right now I'm single, yeah.
Single and searching or single with somebody perching somewhere?
So I mean, I'm single and so I'm single and I have someone that I'm talking to, but we are not yet married.
Oh, okay, all right. So those of you who are texting to find out that single without anybody perching that you want to jump in, he said there is someone special over there that I myself will go do the counseling. Don't worry if she is not free to, but I know that looking at us, he will pick the right person with the help of the Holy Spirit, who is also residing in, because he is a very strong believer who only does everything by relying on God. And I know that whoever is purchasing the message who to be that you are purchasing, I know you're also going to be a strong person who also stand by him with prayer, because you are going to be the neck. Fortify yourself with all the veins in you to turn this head that you are looking up to, that you should rule your life always in this world. So, beloved, this is how far God has brought us, and it's been me, your very favorite host, Pastor Mrs. Linda AMOAH. We are so grateful that we came your way today, and today it's all about the voting. Vote, and keep sharing to people and remind them that as you are listening, the more you are listening, the more you are voting and sharing to people to also vote for OSEI Boateng or OKB on the CNN Hero of the Year 2023. So with that, we say God bless you, Pastor Dan, also for this great production that you have done for us. God bless you also out there who watch us live on YouTube and also that on Facebook. Keep following OSEI Boateng, and then also you will be able to also get access to somebody and save a life out there when the need arrives. So it's my Jericho encounter, and we will come your way again. So, Osekweku, we say God bless you for honoring our invitation today. And I know I'm going to be a proud person. At least I was able to, interview a hero. Yeah. Of the year. And then my program is open to everybody, cutting across all the people. Keep introducing others also to my Jericho encounter who want to share their encounters. If you're also out there that you have encounters, and youth, everybody out there, not only for only men and women of God, it's open to everybody who has had an encounter with Adonai and also want to share to the world the encounters and the things that Christ is still doing. And I always say he is still in the making business. Let's others know and let's save lives for God. So very soon, he is going to appear and we are going to be like him. He said the new heavens and the earth will pass away, then the heavens will also pass away. There will be new heaven and new earth. Where will you be and where are you going to spend eternity? Christ is free. We are giving him out for free, as he's also giving healthcare for free and also propagating Christ for free. Yes, so everything about Christ is free. Freely he gave, freely we are also giving out there. God bless you and keep sharing for us, and then you will be a blessing. God bless you also again, once more again. KWADWO Osei. God bless you, because my son, Pastor Dan is Kweku is always in my mouth.
No worries, but I would also thank you also, thank you, Pastor Linda, thank you, Pastor Dan, and also great thanks to the head pastor, Pastor Mark, and for the opportunity for me to share my story and my journey. I really, really appreciate it, and God bless you all.
God bless you too. So you out there too, God bless you. So see you again another beautiful Tuesday morning, and we'll come your way again with my encounter at Jericho. We say bye-bye for now.
My name is BOATENG, the founder of OKBHO Foundation, a non-profit in Ghana that is focused on bringing healthcare to underserved and rural communities in Ghana. And since our inception, we've visited 52 rural communities, serving over 4,000 individuals across these communities. And we've been selected by the CNN Heroes program and have been part of the top 10 finalists. Vying for the CNN Hero of the Year. And so to win the CNN Hero of the Year, everything is dependent on public vote. So we are counting on you all to help us by voting for us. And the way to vote for us is to go through the cnnheroes.com. Once you get to the cnnheroes.com, there is a link that says that vote for your Hero of the Year. Once you click on that link, you will see all the top 10 finalists, including me. And the name is Osei BOATENG. And once you go there, you can vote for me. When you click on the vote, there will be a slider bar that would come. And then you have to slide the bar from 0 to 10. And you can do this every day until December 5th. And voting is free. And you can vote you can vote with your email address or Facebook account. And once you vote with your email address and also share it on Facebook, your votes get doubled. And this is the way that we can get more votes to be able to secure the CNN Hero of the Year